Welcome to New York. This is my first time in North America, and we know that summer is the best time to be here. We are trying to make our visit more budget-friendly in the big city while having a fun experience. Just arrived in the city from the airport with 4 suitcases. So tired after more than 20 hours of flying. We are really craving some real food after a long day of in-flight food. We were living in the Lower East Side, and Russ and Daughters is just next to our hotel, so we must give it a try. It is a New York culinary and cultural icon, opened in 1904, known for the highest quality advertising food. We got a ticket, and we only wait for a short period of time. We ordered 2 bagels. Mine is with caviar cream and salmon. The salmon is so fresh, and I like that the cream is rich in flavor. It really lives up to the hype. After that, we took a nap and strolled the streets freely. We passed through Chinatown and Little Italy. New York is just as I expected. Chaotic but full of zest. We did a bit of window shopping to experience the city and then headed to dinner afterward. Double Chicken Please is a place ranked among North American top 50 bars. It is a Taiwanese bar, and the food they serve is very Taiwanese. The draft cocktails are sweet and savory. I could smell popcorn in one of them. The fried chicken is on another level. The spice perfectly complements the chicken. Morning, let's start the day with affordable soup noodles. We are craving some warm noodles in the morning and found this Fuzhou cuisine to be economical, costing just around $3 to $4 each. So we decided to give it a try. We're still a bit jet-lagged here, so we woke up really early in the morning. Our plan for today is to go to MoMA and visit the observation deck to view the Skyline in NYC. Can't wait to be there. MoMA, we finally came to visit. Well, I think the whole experience is a bit underwhelming. A disclaimer here, I'm a fan of modern arts. Some of the works are quite impressive, but others are just okay. There is a QR code to access the library of audio recordings for the artworks. Be sure to listen. It will definitely enhance the experience. I really enjoy visiting museum with Michael. He's so creative and observant, always giving me a new perspective in understanding the artwork. We spent almost 5 hours visiting the museum, so we were starving, and we decided to grab some light food before we head to the next destination. Summit One Vanderbilt is the tallest building in Midtown Manhattan. It is not only an observation deck. Summit has 3 levels. Here you can enjoy panoramic views, marvel at mirrorless rooms, and view art installations.
For New Yorkers, in the fabric of New York City.
It is amazing that it only takes around 45 seconds to go from the ground to 91st floor, and you don't even feel the speed at all.
Remember, this is a one-way journey, so check out each floor and make sure that you have experienced the whole floor before you depart for the next one.
Inside the building, there is a lot of floor-to-ceiling windows where you can see New York in 360. On the second floor, there is a lot of mirrors. It must be great to see the sunset here. On the 3rd floor, there are installations that you can interact with. We spent around an hour here. One tip, be sure to apply sunscreen as the sun rays here are quite intense. Tonight we are dining at the legendary King's Steakhouse. It's home to over 15,000 clay smoking pipes, making it one of the largest collections in the world. As we step inside, we are greeted by the charming old world decor, like a classic English inn. To start our meal, we are treated to fresh veggies and dim on the table. A delightful touch. Their blue cheese sauce is absolutely to die for. We decided to pair our meals with a glass of Cabernet and Bloody Mary to kick things off. We ordered a porterhouse steak, which is their signature dish. I think their steak is massive, perfectly seasoned, tender and juicy, but might wish the dry aged flavor was a bit stronger. It's definitely enough for 2. On the side, we got their famous creamed spinach. It's so creamy and soft that it particularly melts in your mouth. If you're looking for a classic steakhouse experience in New York City, King's is a must visit. The combination of delicious food and rich history makes for an unforgettable evening.
Today we are heading to the iconic Intrepid Museum, a legendary aircraft carrier that played a vital role during the Cold War and Vietnam War. But first, we need to fill up with breakfast. We are going to this highly rated bagel spot that has 4.6 out of 5 on Google reviews. They open bright and early at 6 a.m. right in the heart of Midtown. They offer a variety of bagels and 20 different spreads, so you really have to be decisive because there is a limited time to choose your fillings and bread. Trust me, it can be overwhelming. When I picked up one of their bagels, I felt like I was lifting a rock. These things are heavy. The portions are absolutely massive as usual. There's no way you'll finish one in a single sitting. So my advice would be order just one bagel or save half for lunch later. Oh, and a quick tips, skip the coffee. It's way too roasty for my taste. If you tried it, you will see what I mean.
The museum is well created and showcases different parts of the carrier and how it works. One worth mentioning thing is the volunteers, many of whom are veterans. They really give you a lot of first-hand experience about their life on the ship. Apart from that, things are so interactive that you can have a comprehensive experience here. A fun fact about the submarine is that it actually carried atomic bombs during the Cold War period. Sailors had to work underwater for over 9 months at a time. I found it quite depressing that they could not reach sunlight for such long periods. By the way, since the submarine is not very spacious, people who are too tall were not allowed to work inside.
This guy will control the depth up and down, and this guy will control the pitch. There's always 3 sailors sitting here. It's a 24-hour operation, so you sit here on 4-hour shifts. There's no autopilot.
The highlight part is a public park built on historic freight rail line, elevated above the streets on Manhattan's west side. This walk offers an interesting view of the city from an elevated walkway. We had a pleasant walk here, although it was a bit hot since there weren't many trees for shading. The park is quite long, so we actually took some time to walk through it. We existed in Chelsea Market. The market was quite different from what we expected. I thought it would be a market like the ones in Australia and Europe, a wet market that sells meat and seafood. However, it was more like a food court and some booths selling artistic items. Whenever I go out, pho is always our go-to food as an Asian. Imagining the flavorful beef soup and aroma of the sprouts and basil just makes me happy. This restaurant has a 4.4 rating on Google reviews. The beef is average, as it does not have a strong beef flavor, but the soup is so good. I would give it an 8 out of 10. Since we are in Greenwich Village, where NYU is located, we stopped by Washington Square Park, Mike's favorite place. This place is so dusty and very chaotic, where people only mind their own business. It's a popular meeting spot, and I felt so free and energetic here. Literally no one cares what you're doing here. One of the best places for people watching.
And if there's anything you see here you want on your wall or you have any questions about, please.
Washington Square Park is a unique space where the concept of normality is redefined. Unlike in many Asian societies, where strict boundaries and norms dictate behavior, this park embodies a spirit of freedom and self-expression. What might be considered weird or abnormal elsewhere feels perfectly normal in this vibrant community. This openness makes Washington Square Park one of the best representations of New York City.